Welcome to Wednesday Night Walkthrough on Puffamania here on Shockaloo Radio. This is Ace the Kid Hagen with none other than the Puster himself.
Your boy, Big Papa Puff, coming to you here at Chocolate Radio. A lot has happened this week with the SuperStar shakeup, starting with Monday Night Raw. We start off the night in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, with Stephanie McMahon introducing her brother, the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
Still ranting about what he did to the Miz's father, Shane was then interrupted by the Miz, which led to a brawl outside the ring, with the Miz giving Shane a chair shot, ending Shane's night with Shane running away. Who's the best in the world now, Shane? Huh? Ain't no one gonna be better than CM Punk. No one. He is the best in the world. He held that belt 465 days, and no one ain't ever gonna beat that. Moving on from that topic there, let's move on over to this 8-man tag match. Ricochet, Aleister Black, Zack Ryder, and Kurt Hawkins versus The Rival and Viking Experience. Let's just say that this match went hard-hitting, technical. The Viking Experience were dominant on the Raw debut. Let's not forget to mention, technically, the Raw debut for Aleister Black and Ricochet. Puffster, I gotta ask you this question real quick. Is this a good time to bring up the Viking Experience?
Is this a good time? To that, I'd have to say no. No, it is not. There are times that your ideas can be kind of crazy to me, and my ideas can be kind of crazy to you. But there are those rare occasions where we're on the same page entirely, and it is in moments like this where we are on that page, because the Royal Raiders, Hanson, and Rowe did not need to leave NXT. They did not need to be changed to Eric and Ivar and go up to the main roster as the Viking Experience. They were perfect right where they were. There are too many bring-ups that flop and fail on the main roster because they just brought up too many at one time. Let them be there for a while. Let them be a fan favorite. Let them just be their own thing.
Let me just kind of catch them up on what we're talking about here. He's agreeing with me saying that NXT needs to be its own promotion away from WWE.
That is 100% correct. It's just not necessary right now. It's too soon for too many people to be brought up from NXT. There needs to be more control over the writing and the defense for NXT against WWE. They need to have a barrier there that dictates when WWE can take a superstar from them, because they're just pulling them like they're veggies, or like, you know.
Think about it, it's different competition. There's completely different competition coming from NXT to WWE.
Oh, absolutely. WWE is what it's always been. Raw and SmackDown are WWE. WWE is sports entertainment.
Well,
NXT
is more action-packed and part of the pro wrestling.
More of the indie scene.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, a lot of the indie scene. I think they're just trying to keep up with the All In project.
AEW, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you look at what AEW is, and now WWE is taking everything that is NXT, something that could compete with AEW, and taking all of the roster and bringing them up to the main ship, because that's the one that's going to make them the most money and the most merch, and be the one that's going to be defending itself against AEW.
So, let me ask you another question then. Do you think this is just going to be the end of the PG era?
I don't think this is the end of the PG era. I think this is the end of the Vince McMahon sports entertainment era. At this point, it isn't really a PG rating or a televised rating. It's the evolution of the sport, or in this case, the sport entertainment. It's, you look at the wrestlers of 20 years ago, just these gigantic mountains of men. Mm-hmm. And now you look at today. We got people like Seth Rollins, who is Universal Champion, Kofi Kingston, who's WWE Champion. Neither of those two guys are a Hulk Hogan. Neither of those two guys are a Stone Cold, who's, you know, at that time, you know, he was a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I think it had a little bit more to do with attitude in his head, but beside the point.
Yeah.
They're not that style of wrestler. They're not the Roman Reigns. They're not the John Cena's. Regardless of how big they are, they all have one thing in common, and that is the look of just being big. You know, some are bigger than others. Reigns, only 6'2". He's about the same height as I am. I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, he's a big guy, but then Hulk Hogan, built at 6'6", 6'7", that's a big guy. You know, compared to him, I look small. Right. So, you know, it's even on that end, it's evolving to wrestlers to being smaller guys and being more nimble. It's about the technician now. It's not about the muscle and the physique of Zeus. It is the technician, the speed of Hermes. That is what wins matches. That is what entertains the crowd, because we've seen the muscle match. We've seen that for almost the entirety of what is wrestling. It doesn't fluctuate as bad as it did back in like the AWA days, where, you know, Bash and Booger comes out in trunks and should never ever come out in trunks, or, you know, Viscera and basically Speedo. You know, we had those kind of we had those kind of guys who, you know, clearly are not afraid to go on the wild side for Carb Day and just,
hello, ladies.
Oh yeah, and we're all like, oh no. Anyways,
they don't want your right to censor.
Yeah, which they had the right to, because that was not something anybody wanted to see. But moving on, it's not the time of the Atlas, the Bronze, big muscle brawlers. It is the time of the technician. It's not the time of the Hulk Hogan's anymore. It's the time of the Bret Harts. It is that time where we get the high flyers. And I say Bret Hart to get that face. He's not looking at me too heavy right now. He kind of hates them. But moving from that, we have Finn Balor and Andrade.
Yeah.
In Andrade's debut match on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. That was technical, high-flying. Selena Vega gave the Hurricanrana outside the ring to Finn Balor. That was pretty crazy. She took a nasty fall, too, to that. Hit her head right on the side of the LED board outside the ring. Andrade with the DDT for the W over Balor. It all started with the dollhouse. Creepy and everything. And there it was, sitting on a rocking chair back and forth.
Don't say it.
It was not a miss me.
Don't say it.
But it was.
Don't say it.
Sister Annabelle.
Oh, he said it.
Dude, that was so creepy.
I hate that thing so bad. Like, I'm not afraid of dolls or anything. I just hate the fact that it doesn't blink. That's in the bothers me. Just the eye staring at you and that cackle is just, I don't know, it just makes you really feel uncomfortable for a moment in time.
In a sense, the doll, it sold it. It had the face.
It sold. It definitely sold. It was, I'd like to think that, you know, maybe instead of having Bray Wyatt dress up like Sister Annabelle, maybe they could just make it that doll. Imagine that, how freaky that'd be. Like, go Goosebump style with it.
Imagine if it wasn't even Sister Annabelle. Imagine if it was a repackaged Superstar. Or a Diva. Not a Superstar.
Who?
Oh, could be a Diva.
Who?
Who would be the only lunatic diva that would be able to qualify into something so psychotic like that? Only one name comes to mind, and that's Nikki Cross.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say Julian Michaels, but that's way off. I'm kidding. Of course, it would be Nikki Cross. Nikki is Sheko. So, how do you explain the gobbledygooker in the Amazon box? Is that not repackaged as well, or is that Bray Wyatt?
I think they kind of got the boxes mixed up on the up truck.
Yeah, one was a pet and it was supposed to get holes, and the other one was a laptop. Now somebody's wondering why there's a bunch of holes in their laptop box.
That is the gobbledygooker.
It looks like the gobbledygooker hand puppet. If the gobbledygooker and Mr. Psycho had a child, they put it in a box and that box is opened up.
From the Pet Cemetery.
In theaters now.
Oh.
Which it actually is, and that actually,
Pet Cemetery.
It's Pet Cemetery gobbledygooker. Everybody run. He's coming back. Money in the bank.
Let's fade from that. So let's go on to this.
Elias?
No. Becky Two Belts.
Becky Two Belts.
Becky Two Belts. She comes out. She's saying that she's the man. She says that she beat little Ronnie. Little weirdo Ronnie or whatever she calls her.
The little weirdo?
Yeah. Little weirdo Ronnie. And then she gets interrupted by Natalya, who gives the worst promo like she always does. And says, well, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let Puffster say it.
Well, normally I would say that, you're just hating on her because she's a heart. But in this case, I kind of have to agree. She kind of butchered it. What she said was, I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
But in a faster pace.
But when she said, I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And it wasn't really in tone to the way she was speaking. It just it didn't feel right.
Yeah, and
so
it set down. But
it didn't set well.
To top off the mood, who came out? Lacey Evans.
Here we go again.
Lacey Evans comes walking down her catwalk, all fancy and everything. She comes in and she says, I'm here now on Raw, officially, and I want that Raw women's title belt.
Yeah, the all-American girl, the sassy Southern belle. I like how she's the sassy Southern belle, the all-American girl, yet she came out dressed like a Mountie.
She looked mighty fine in her, though.
Well, as much as I can disagree with anything that you say about her, I will defend the death that you are right to say it. Moving from that...
Lacey Evans and Natalya, they then went on fighting to take on... Actually, no, they went on to fight...
They fought each other.
For a number one contendership.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey Evans' Raw debut match against Natalya. What better way than have Natalya put Lacey Evans over because Natalya is crap.
Yeah, they had to just do it in Montreal.
Oh, why not?
Because fake laughter, hiding real pain. Why? I can give you a million reasons why, but I'm not going to because hopefully we have a comment section out there and they can tell you for us. But that match was actually really good.
Yeah.
I thought, as much as I want to say something negative about Lacey,
there was this crazy point in the match where Lacey Evans was on the second rope, facing towards Natalya, jumps up onto the top rope. She does a 180.
Moonsault.
No, she does a 180 onto the top rope.
That's right.
Flips off and does the moonsault.
Then does a moonsault.
Lands beautifully on Natalya.
Makes it perfect.
Covers it for the 1-2-3.
As much as I want to say that she's nothing, that was impressive. I have to say that was awesome.
As her entrance music says, out like a lady.
Yeah. Say all you want. But when it's the lady versus the man at, where do you think it's going to go? SummerSlam? SummerSlam?
Yep.
Well, it doesn't matter where it's going to be because the man, Becky Lynch, is going to win.
No.
End the subject. Moving on.